Airplanes are supposed to take us to new and exciting places, but what happens when they become the final resting place for the dead? In this video, we will explore the mysteries of 10 haunted abandoned airplanes. These planes are said to be home to ghosts of the people who died on them, and they are filled with strange and unexplained phenomena. Join us as we take a journey into the unknown and uncover the shocking stories behind these haunted planes. This aircraft was designed to carry cargo for World War II, but the war was finished before the plane got built, so it was used for commercial flights instead. In the 12 years it was in production, 214 planes were made, and of these, 68 had accidents, so it's not surprising that today only 13 aircraft remain intact. One of these remaining aircraft lies abandoned on Beaver Lodge Lake in Canada. In 1956, the plane had landed on the frozen lake and was braking when the left main gear broke through the ice. This caused the left wing to hit the ice and bend. The plane was later deemed irreparable, dragged to the edge of the lake, and abandoned. The abandoned plane is now a popular destination for urban explorers. Some people who have visited the plane have reported hearing strange noises, seeing apparitions, and feeling a sense of dread. There are also rumors that the plane is haunted by the ghosts of the passengers and crew who died in the accident. Elvis Presley owned 3 jets. First was a Convair 880 called Hound Dog II. The second was a Lockheed Jetstar called Lisa Marie. Both planes can be found on display in the Graceland Museum. His third plane was also a Lockheed Jetstar that Elvis bought in 1976 and then sold in 1977. Elvis Presley's third Lockheed Jetstar, which he bought and sold in 1976 and 1977, is said to be haunted by his ghost. The jet was found abandoned in a New Mexico desert in 2016, and the new owner has reported seeing strange lights and hearing unexplained noises inside the plane. Some people believe that Elvis's spirit is still lingering in the jet, unable to let go of his life of fame and excess. The jet was found in a state of disrepair, with broken windows and missing seats. The new owner, James Webb, said that he has seen a figure sitting in the pilot's seat at night. Webb has also heard footsteps and voices coming from the plane, even when he is the only one inside. Some people believe that Elvis's ghost is angry that his plane was abandoned, and that he is trying to get someone to restore it to its former glory. A Belgian man called Laurent Bernier discovered an abandoned hangar hidden in the countryside. Inside were 5 damaged airplanes, 4 Stamp SV.4 fuselages, dozens of jet engines all lined up in neat rows, and around 30 to 40 wings perfectly stored. Laurent Bernier shivered as he stepped into the abandoned hangar, feeling like he was being watched. The only light came from the cracks in the walls, and the air was thick with dust and the smell of old metal. He could see the shapes of the airplanes in the darkness, and he imagined their ghosts lurking in the shadows. He quickly turned and ran out of the hangar, never to return. The hangar was located in a remote area, and it was rumored to be haunted by the ghosts of the pilots who had died there. Bernier had heard these rumors, but he didn't believe them until he stepped inside the hangar and felt the cold presence of the spirits. He could hear the faint sound of voices and laughter, and he saw the shadows of people moving around in the darkness. He ran out of the hangar as fast as he could, and he never went back. Captain Frederick Eden Jr. was flying this Boeing B-17E Flying Fortress during a raid on Japanese ships over Papua New Guinea on February 23, 1942, when he was intercepted by the Japanese. During the fight, he ran out of fuel and was forced to make an emergency landing in a swamp. The crew survived, but the plane wasn't salvaged because the war was still being fought. The Swamp Ghost, as the Boeing B-17E Flying Fortress is now known, sits in a swamp in Papua New Guinea, where it has been since it crash-landed in 1942. The crew survived, but the plane was never salvaged. Some people believe that the plane is haunted by the ghosts of the crew members who died in the crash. The Swamp Ghost is said to be surrounded by a strange mist, and the air is thick with the smell of death. People who have visited the plane have reported hearing strange noises, such as the sound of engines running and the voices of men. Some people have even seen the ghosts of the crew members, wandering around the plane or sitting in the cockpit. Whether or not the swamp ghost is actually haunted, it is a place of mystery and intrigue. It is a reminder of the sacrifices that were made during World War II, and it is a place where people can still feel the echoes of the past. The Buran was Soviet Russia's answer to NASA's orbiter space shuttle, and it completed its first unmanned flight in 1988. It was programmed to have a second, longer, unmanned flight by 1993, but the dissolution of the Soviet Union led to a lack of funding, and the project was abandoned. The Buran and 2 additional incomplete orbiters were put into a hangar for storage. The Buran space shuttle, once a symbol of Soviet technological prowess, now sits abandoned in a hangar in Kazakhstan. The only light comes from the occasional beam of sunlight that filters through the cracks in the roof, and the air is thick with dust and the smell of decay. Some say that the Buran is haunted by the ghosts of the engineers and cosmonauts who worked on it, and that their spirits still linger in the hangar, waiting for the day when the Buran will fly again. The hangar is located in a remote area, and it is rumored to be haunted by the ghosts of the people who died there. The Buran is covered in dust and cobwebs, and its hull is starting to rust. The only sound is the occasional drip of water from the roof. Some people have reported seeing strange lights and hearing unexplained noises coming from it. Just offshore of the Norman's Cay Island is a semi-submerged Curtiss C-46. In the late 1970s, the island of Norman's Cay was used by the Medellin cartel for drug smuggling. One day a pilot called British Andy was in Florida when he saw a Curtiss C-46 that he thought Carlos Leder might want to use for his Norman's Cay smuggling operation, and so he flew it to the island. After several days of heavy drinking, British Andy decided to do some test takeoffs and landings. As he approached the first landing he miscalculated, touched down too early, and clipped a mound of earth that ripped off the left gear, causing the plane to tip. The left propeller then struck the runway. The wreckage of the Curtiss C-46, which crashed off the coast of Norman's Cay in the late 1970s, is said to be haunted by the ghost of the pilot, British Andy. Some people believe that Andy's spirit is still trapped in the plane, unable to let go of the life he led as a drug smuggler. Soviet Russia wanted to develop an aircraft that could take out U.S. Polaris missile submarines. For this, they required an aircraft that could fly long distances at altitude, take off and land vertically from land or sea, and fly low and slow over the ocean by taking advantage of the ground effect. To accomplish this, they hired the Italian aircraft designer Robert Bartini. By the end of 1972, Bartini had completed Stage 1 and his VVA-14 prototype completed its first flight, taking off from a conventional runway. The Bartini VVA-14, a strange and experimental aircraft designed to destroy U.S. submarines, is said to be haunted by the ghost of its designer, Robert Bartini. Some people believe that Bartini's spirit is still trapped in the plane, unable to let go of his dream of creating a weapon that would defeat the Americans. A decommissioned Boeing 737 was being dismantled and transported through the Indian city of Mumbai at night. The truck driver transporting the fuselage got lost, took a wrong turn, and ended up in a narrow street with a flyover too low for him to pass under. Unable to move forward or turn around, the driver decided to unhitch the trailer and abandon the 75 feet, 23 meters long fuselage in the middle of the street. The fuselage is located in a remote area, and it is rumored to be haunted by the ghosts of the people who died there. The fuselage is covered in graffiti and has become a popular spot for teenagers to hang out. Some people have reported seeing strange lights and hearing unexplained noises coming from the fuselage. One night, a group of teenagers were hanging out near the fuselage when they heard a loud noise coming from inside. When they went to investigate, they saw the figure of a man standing in the cockpit. The figure then disappeared into thin air. When Allied forces invaded Iraq in 2003, they didn't find the weapons they were looking for. They did, however, find something rather strange at Al Taqaddum Air Base.
Hidden under camouflage netting, hardened aircraft shelters, and even buried in the sand were 51 abandoned aircraft. MiG-25s, Su-25 kiloseconds, MiG-21s, various F-7Bs, and even an Ilyushin IL-76 transport. It is still unknown when or why these aircraft were buried and abandoned. The buried Iraqi MiGs, hidden in the sand at Al Taqadum Air Base, are said to be haunted by the ghosts of the pilots who flew them. Some people believe that the pilots' spirits are still trapped in the planes, unable to let go of their final moments. The MiGs were buried in the sand in a hurry, and some of the pilots may have been killed in the process. In Hungary, in a farmer's field are over 70 MiG-21 aircraft that still belong to the Hungarian military. These Soviet-built planes were initially sent to the field in the 1980s in preparation for a scheduled upgrade program. However, the fall of communism in Hungary and the dissolution of the Soviet Union meant that these upgrades were delayed and then cancelled. So now, these out-of-date planes just sit in this field, ghostly echoes of a troubled past. The MiG-21s were once a symbol of the Cold War, and they are now a reminder of a time of tension and fear. The planes are covered in graffiti, and they have become a popular spot for teenagers to hang out. The mysteries of these haunted abandoned airplanes are still unsolved, and they continue to fascinate and frighten people all over the world. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there is no denying that these planes are places of great sadness and loss. These stories are authentic and real facts because they are compiled by searching through Google. I post 3 to 4 videos every week, so subscribe to my channel Real at 10 and you'll never miss a new amazing story. If you like what you see, be sure to leave a comment and share my videos with your friends.